Hey guys, this is MindCast with your host, Kevin Seaman, where we talk about what's going on in your head.
Hi, this is your host of MindCast, Kevin Seaman. My subject today is why people respond more to perception than they do reality. Have you ever wondered why someone may have such a grip on a point of view or opinion that it convolutes the reality of the subject? It could even be totally contrary to both science or logic. It could exceed the boundaries of rational thought and have no basis on critical thought or rational thinking. Yet the person possessing, or perhaps a better term is possessed, by this perception that they so firmly hold on to, will defend it to the very end. So, why does this seem to be such a prevalent mental condition in human thought? Why does a person's perception seem to hold more importance than truth? Well, it is based on your beliefs, and your beliefs are based on your perception of reality. And when you firmly believe something, it becomes your reality. Now, don't get me wrong, that doesn't mean that it is reality, but it absolutely is your reality. According to Dr. Jim Taylor, professor of psychology at the University of San Francisco, perception acts as a lens through which we view reality. Our perceptions influence how we focus on, process, remember, interpret, understand, synthesize, decide about, and act on reality. In doing so, our tendency is to assume that how we perceive reality is an accurate representation of what reality truly is. But it's not. Professor Taylor goes on to say, the problem is that the lens through which we perceive is often warped in the first place by our genetic predispositions, past experiences, prior knowledge, emotions, preconceived notions, self-interest, and cognitive distortions. These filters distort the truth in many instances. Here's what the dictionary says the definition of perception is: the way of regarding, understanding, or interpreting something, a mental impression. And this is what the dictionary defines reality as: the world or the state of things as they actually exist. Existence that is absolute, self-sufficient, or objective, and not subject to human decisions or conventions. Totally different meanings based on their definition. One thing to bear in mind is there's a huge difference between cognitive biases that people create in regard to subjective social reality that deviates from objective reality. There can be, and usually is, also a certain amount of presupposition that influences our perception. This is because your brain processes your reality internally based on what your senses are able to perceive. But your senses are limited. You're only able to see the range of colors that your eyes allow, and you're only able to hear the decibels that your ears capture and interpret. So does that mean that the reality is that of only the colors in the spectrum that exist are the ones that you can see? Or the only sound waves that exist are the ones that you can hear? You know the answer. But here's another important thing to remember. Reality is sometimes harsh, difficult, and painful. It often takes work. And most often, reality entails much more attention than perception, because the needs to address the consequences are usually greater if ignored. So in that regard, there are probably less real consequences in terms of perception versus reality. Here's another very curious thing about perception. It communicates well from afar. You can post all the photos of you and your happiness and success on social media, yet in reality you are struggling. We all are. But by choosing not to post that part of it, others are led to perceive that your life is flawlessly perfect. But one might argue, why would you? I mean, why would you post the negative? If you're unhappy, it's easier to post what you want your reality to be rather than put the work in to actually make it better. It's like you can almost show the world what you think your life should be without really showing them what it is. And by doing so, you've skewed both your perception of that reality and theirs. And it feels good. It feels better. So there really is a difference in the way we see ourselves perceptively and others, and the actuality of our life circumstance. This phenomenon is even more easily wielded through the palette of our computer and the canvas of the internet. The keyboard warriors are untouchable. The anonymity of the troll allows for the opportunity to abuse and disregard for the effect it might have. The glamorous are flawless or nearly perfect, and the TikTok performers are socially entertaining and famous. We are becoming a world where the perception is not only more plausible, but also more profitable, and because of that, more desirable. We're becoming a world where perception is better than reality. But is it? Stay tuned, and I'll illustrate why perception can cloud the clarity of our life, our feelings, and our reality. I'll be right back after this short word from our sponsors of MindCast. Our first sponsor is Dolorex. Dolor is a French word for pain. RX comes from the Latin word for recipe. Well, let me tell you this. This is one of the best recipes for pain I've ever used. This is a product that works, guys. I have tried a lot of pain management products over the years, and I personally used the Dolorex CBD cream and the roll-on. And as a coach and a very physical athlete, I've had outstanding results with these topical creams. I've also given them to my staff and clients who've had equally outstanding results. In addition, I've also had equally great results with the powdered CBD drink, especially as a compound factor for injury and related pain. And in addition to pain management, it's given me a feeling of calm and helped me fall asleep more quickly and wake refreshed and ready for the next day. Dolorex proprietary topical pain management cream combines scientifically proven analgesic ingredients infused with an advanced proprietary nano CBD hemp oil that penetrates deeply and quickly into the skin to manage pain at the source. The fine folks at Dolorex back their quality products with 100% money-back guarantee within 30 days of delivery. That's DOULEURX. Look for the green and white label. Use the product code MindCast to receive a 20% discount on your order. Check them out at Dolorex.com. We also have a new associate sponsor of MindCast, Bulletproof. Bulletproof makes high-quality products that view food as fuel. Bulletproof coffee, MCT oil, keto products, and their entire nutritional line are made with the finest ingredients using health-friendly fats and ingredients. Check out their entire line at bulletproof.com. Enter the promo code MindCast to receive a 15% discount on your order. That's bulletproof.com. Hi, I'm back. So let's talk about why perception can cloud the clarity of your life, your feelings, and your reality. When you show part of yourself, you only share that part. The spectrum is unbalanced and skewed. This may not psychologically prepare you for the realities that cannot be wiped away through an unbalanced perspective. It's good to have a positive outlook on your life and interact using optimism, but reality cannot be dismissed or wiped away. It just cannot. And here's the thing. If you live in denial of the harsh realities that impose themselves on your life and your life path, they still exist. They don't go away. So being prepared for these instances in your life, but without letting them control your direction and your outcome, is better for you in the long run. One of the most straightforward people I've ever met said something I will never forget. Hope and strive for the best, but be prepared for the worst. In other words, see both sides of the coin. When you pick up one end of the stick, you pick up the other as well, whether you like it or not. So, how can we become better at seeing both sides? A very good way to practice this is by interacting with people while also striving to understand them, by focusing on what their reality might be rather than your perception of it. This approach is known as seeking first to understand, then to be understood. When you seek understanding of what someone is feeling, it makes a connection to reality. You're not just basing your understanding of them on yours or someone else's perception. You're going to the source and trying to really and truly understand where they're coming from. This approach is difficult for both parties, but once the first layer of the onion is peeled away, the essence is rich and real. Here's a great example of how you can use this. When you see a behavior that is puzzling to you in someone, maybe someone you know well, listen to them. Not just to respond or counsel, but really listen to understand their perception. When I worked as a personal trainer, I also used mental coaching principles when training my clients. One time I had a client tell me they were done training with me. Here's how this conversation went with my client, Sue. Not her real name. Sue, this will be my last session with you, coach. I'm tired of wasting my time trying to get in shape for other people. It's a waste of time and money. This took me off guard because Sue was making excellent headway in her original goal of losing weight and becoming healthier. Me, okay, you feel like you're wasting your time and money working out. Sue, yeah, this is stupid. I'll never get to where I want. Besides, it's too much work. I need to really start living instead of trying to be something I'm not. Me, pick up your pace a little on the elliptical, Sue. You're dropping back. She does that, and I ask, so, you think you're trying to be someone you're not, and it's a lot of work. Sue, yep, I found out something yesterday that made me feel so bad. It really shocked me. My boyfriend is cheating on me with a younger girl. When I asked him about it, he got angry and said it was because I spent too much time at work and at the gym, and I never pay any attention to him anymore. Can you believe that? It's only an hour 3 times a week. I mean, yeah, I'm doing this for myself, but I'm also doing it to try to look better for him. So why even try? Me, Sue, you're an incredible, beautiful, caring woman with tremendous energy. You have so many wonderful qualities. I have a question for you. Is it possible that someone that treats you that way maybe doesn't deserve you? The time I've spent with you has shown me how much you care about yourself, your health, and others, and your life. Please don't stop caring about yourself. I understand completely if you want to stop training with me, but don't stop caring about yourself. Sue, thanks, Kevin. You're right. He's not worth it. He doesn't support me in what I do, and he's shown how he really feels by his actions. I guess I was just fooling myself thinking he was someone he wasn't. Once I understood that it wasn't Sue's drive to quit, but her perception that her boyfriend didn't find her attractive anymore, even though she was working so hard to improve, I had a better insight into what was motivating her to give up. See, she didn't want to give up. She just felt that she lacked value. Her goals were powerful for her personal development, and she showed that when I told her to pick up the pace on the elliptical while she was telling me how she felt it was a waste of time. Her actions spoke louder than her words. She picked up the pace without even thinking twice. If she really did want to quit, she would have stopped and not picked up the pace. Instead, if I just said, "Why do you want to do that? You've invested so much time and energy in yourself, and so have I. I'm really disappointed in your decision," it may have confirmed her feelings. But I tried to understand why she felt this way by agreeing with her, by empathizing with what she might be feeling. And this helped her open up about the real problem she'd been facing. She felt hurt. I had just finished reading The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Dr. Stephen Covey when it first came out. By the way, I've read that book 5 times. Dr. Covey states, first try to understand and then be understood. I think we all could benefit from following that advice more in our lives. If I had simply taken my perception of what she had said at face value, my interpretation would have been different. My perception would have been based on her perception of what she saw happening in her life. Once I noticed that, and then confirmed to her that she had value, she began to shift her perception and see the reality of her dilemma. So often, people don't want to see the reality because it's painful and hard. But that's only initially. Once we accept reality, it becomes easier to adjust our actions. We become more aligned with our values, and that gives us a feeling of integrity. In my last MindCast, The Fear Factor, I talked about how people see hate, and it is difficult to understand why someone would have so much hate. Once we understand the reality that hate is a fear-based emotion, and that when they express hate, there's always a reason based on their fear of some kind. Their perception is one of potential loss, and that loss is expressed as hate for those or that which they perceive will take something from them. Our perception is hate, but the reality is fear. Here's a great way to use the information in this episode of MindCast. Over the next few weeks, try more to understand the reality that people in your life are experiencing in regard to their outward behavior. Try to look beyond your perception of what you think may be why their behavior is expressed the way it is. Look beyond your perception and deeper into their reality. Thank you for listening to this episode of MindCast. If this is your first episode, be sure to browse the list of episodes that may grab your interest, or just start at episode number 1. And please subscribe, like, and review as able. Also, please do me a huge favor and share this episode of MindCast with someone you feel it would benefit. Also, I want to thank my sponsors of MindCast, Dolorex and Bulletproof Products. Be sure to check out these fine products that both these sponsors offer and use the discount code MindCast to receive a discount on your order. MindCast is produced to help develop the warrior mindset in you and to help you overcome the challenges and adversities in your life. Thank you. Until next time, this is Kevin Seaman, and this is MindCast.